Welcome to Dr. Jester Runts, and I'm gonna rant about this. From the Blaze, transgender activist says all children should be put on puberty blockers until they can decide their gender. Sounds like a wonderful idea for me. I'm being sarcastic here in case you haven't noticed. Holy shit, be pickles! These people are absolutely fucking unhinged. And let me put it this way, we still don't know or quite understand the consequences of putting normal children in puberty blockers at least on their formation years, and the teen time. For instance, you could actually have stunted growth. Some could actually be impacted, some do not. You could actually have other problems as well, development problems, infertility, and other things like that. Do you want to put children on that? All children until they can say, hey, look, I have a dick, but I think it's a feminine dick, so I'm gonna be a woman. Do you actually want to go through that? No, of course not. Look, if you're a transgender, etc., sure, transition if you want, but at least wait until you're legally allowed to do so. Say, I don't know, depending on your state, if you live in America or in country 16, 18 years old and transition through that, there's a chance you may regret it, there's a chance you may not. Go on and do it. On the position of do what the fuck you want, but doing what this person here is suggesting is absolutely wrong and really, really, really bad. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't listen to this person, because this person here is an idiot and allegedly an idiot. Mostly because I've already had a few discussions with this, this individual, suffice to say, in which she, her, him suggested, well, let's face it, it's a him, because this person makes no effort whatsoever to even pass as a woman. Either way, let's keep going. This person suggested that a dick can be feminine. There is nothing, absolutely fucking nothing feminine about a dick. In fact, a dick is the epitome of a masculinity. It's the epitome of being a male. There is nothing girly about that. Nothing. They're more not even going to the idea of using shock therapy to cure the gayness. This idiot here, allegedly, also had the idea of shoving a dick on somebody's face, and that will definitely make the straight male like said dick. I even remember saying that it is transphobic saying no to a transgender woman. Well, isn't it interesting that we don't have the agency, the rights to reject somebody because we don't quite like it, that they are not actually a real woman? Shouldn't we have the agency to reject a person for whatever X reason that we don't like? After all, women have the right to say no to a male, even if it's a hairy homunculus of a fat nobody with a beard. A tiny little individual. I'm not tiny. At least, I hope not. I have 5'10", so either way, let's keep going and read the article. A popular transgender activist recently called for all children to be put on puberty blockers until they are able to decide which gender they want to be. This is absolutely wrong and absolutely harmful to everybody. Lauren McNamara, known by followers as Zinnia Jones. Yes, exactly. That one who's actually trying to debunk the science that Blair White said. Argued earlier this month that children should be legally able to consent to the administration of puberty blockers since they already de facto consent to the permanent and irreversible changes that come naturally through puberty. This is absolutely retarded. If children if children can't consent to puberty blockers which pause any permanent changes even with the relevant professional evaluation, how can they consent to the permanent and irreversible changes that come with their own puberty with no professional evaluation whatsoever? End quote, she wrote on Twitter. I won't even go with she in this case. This person here has the teeth of a crack addict, of a meth head. If you see that teeth, you're wondering what in the actual fuck went on. Holy fuck. The YouTuber went on to argue that an inability to offer informed consent or understand long-term consequences is actually an argument for putting every single cis and trans person on puberty blockers until they acquire that ability, end quote. No. If you want to transition, wait for the legal age, wait until you're actually 100% sure, don't let the peer pressure, because I know there's a lot of peer pressure on top of a person to be special on the alphabet. Don't let even your mother or father pressure you to do something you don't want to. This is absolutely 101 in being a human being. But apparently this now, holding this opinion is now controversial. It's just disheartening and annoying. Alright, let's keep going. Her comments followed a court case in the UK involving Kira Bell, a 23-year-old biological female who sued the British National Health Service, NHS, Gender Identity Youth Clinic for prescribing her puberty blockers when she was 16 years old. Bell, who since regrets becoming a male, argued that the clinic did not do enough to challenge her decision to transition. Exactly. Because when you transition, the changes are absolutely devastating to your body. If you regret it, chances are things are definitely going to be difficult. And when you put puberty blockers on somebody, you're not only delaying your natural gender thing or identity of the body that you're born with coming through, you're pretty much damaging everything else. You know what? Let's go through this. Judges ruled in the lawsuit that quote, it is highly unlikely that a child aged 13 or under would be competent to give consent to the administration of puberty blockers, end quote. And, quote, it is doubtful that a child aged 14 or 15 could understand and weigh the long-term risks and consequences of the administration of puberty blockers, end quote. This is because, and even the UK, which had a research showing that there was a huge spike on transgender between kids, that it became worrisome. And this is because of the constant need to be special, to be that a thing different, to fit in. And to fit in, you need to be part of the alphabet. Yeah, who knew? Let me drink some coffee. And many of those who transition are actually autists as well. So they are especially susceptible to peer pressure. Some people who actually transition or try to go through it have had massive psychological impact on their lives, and they are trying to cope with it. For instance, there's a case, I even forgot the name, but I read it a couple of years ago, that the person had a massive psychological impact, a psychological event on their life. I think it was the loss of a wife, or they had a loss of somebody died close to him, and he thought that he wanted to be a woman. He went through all the shenanigans and then regretted it after he recovered psychologically. He recovered and saw, hey, this is wrong. I shouldn't have done this. I was under stress. I was depressed. I was all of those things. I shouldn't have gone through that. I wish I could remember more about the case, but I don't. Either way, let's keep going. But, where was I? Oh, yeah. But, quote, in respect of young persons aged 16 and over, the legal position is that there is a presumption that they have the ability to consent to medical treatment. And, quote, read the ruling. McNamara argued in his tweet, that the threat that puberty became, quote, optional, quote, when the technology was developed to, quote, enable deliberate choice between natal puberty and puberty induced by cross-sex hormones. I assume an end quote in there. According to his YouTube fan page, McNamara is an atheist American commentator who has, quote, posted numerous videos critical of religion, especially in regards to its attitude towards the alphabet people. Xenia is openly transgender, has been on hormone replacement therapy since September, quote, September 2012, end quote. Quote, Xenia was assigned male at birth and given the name Zachary Antolak in 1989 in Chicago, end quote, but he, quote, became aware of his sexuality as a gay male at the early age, end quote, his profile states. After years identifying as a gay male, Xenia finally came to the conclusion that he was actually a Maamgender in 2011 and started a romantic relationship with his close friend and lesbian Heather McNamara and becoming an adoptive mother to... Wait, what? Becoming an adoptive mother towards Heather's 2 children. Holy shit. Xenia is actually in a polyamorous relationship with Heather and another Maamgender named Penny. End quote, it continues. Poor kids, they are going to be a basket case. Yeah, they are going to need psychological help when they grow up. A lot. Kids, they are the biggest ones that are going to suffer with this. Oh god. I don't know what else you want me to say about this, because quite frankly, this is just wrong in in so many levels that... all levels, in fact. I'm gonna go forward and state that. This is wrong. This is absolutely fucking wrong. You shouldn't subject kids to hormone blockers or anything like that. Let them grow naturally. You keep saying it, being gay is natural. It's natural, you're born with it. Let the person be gay. See? Then you should also let the person normally develop into a woman or a guy after they go through the teens. This is natural as well. If you're going to use that argument, you can use the argument in here too. Why is that so damn difficult and complicated? It's not, really. Either way, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more of this. Oh, and by the way, I think you might be listening to my fun blasting in the background because it's absolutely fucking hot in here. I'm stuck between Satan's butt cheeks right now. And Satan is also suffering from a swamp ass condition, just like I am. So it's absolutely moistfully humid. Moistfully, that's a new word, I think. Humid right now, so I'm sweating my balls. Either way, don't forget to hit the notification bell button, because that's also important if you want more of that update in your life. What else? Oh yeah, most important, wishing you a good night. Good night.